I'm Pelle Nilsson, and I'm the writer of this game, called MÖRK BORG.
And I'm Johan Nohr. I'm the graphic designer and visual artist for that very game and some other stuff here as well.
Brilliant. So I mean, there's obviously a strong kind of heavy metal, doom metal, I think you mentioned in the book, influence.
Yeah, I know.
What made you kind of go towards? Was like an initial spark? Was there something missing from your own games? What was it that kicked you off to get going?
Yeah, I kind of missed that kind of game, like music-inspired game with very light rules and a game that is easy to get up to the table and start to play in just some few minutes. There are those games, but not capturing maybe all the things that are in MÖRK BORG that I like too. So I felt that was a blind spot, so to speak. So yeah.
Yeah, and for yourself, I mean, I've been walking around, there's lots of products based on MÖRK BORG out there today. But your visual style is very, very distinct. I think it's becoming less so as people are copying you, unfortunately. What inspired you? Is there anyone you were kind of inspired by, or what was the thinking behind that?
So we talked a bit about how we wanted this game to look and feel, and I think we all wanted to go for sort of a underground scene kind of look.
Yeah.
And especially with the music influence, it became like natural to look like, how you would describe or design gig poster or something like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked this style, and we had a lot of fun just experimenting as well and doing whatever we wanted to essentially here. As we keep releasing stuff, we want to break our own rules as well and not step away from this style, but try different versions of it.
Yeah, you mentioned like the zine, so it has a kind of 80s, 90s underground music kind of feel.
Yeah, it's a very lively thing as well in the role-playing game community and in the role-playing game space with doing zines and these pamphlet adventures and like sort of smaller, easier to digest, easier to approach things.
Yeah. So did you guys start, you're independent, right? You created this yourselves, or was it more?
Depends on what you mean. We are published by Free League, at least our core games. We do a lot of things ourselves and with other publishers too. It's like they help us out with some distribution and logistics and stuff, So, but we're very much creatively independent. So they don't have anything to do with the game itself. No.
One of the things that's come up a lot, because when I was initially sold on that, it was that kind of that doom metal, the world is ending, everything's grim, you get your leg chopped off kind of vibe. As I've read the book and as we've played, we've kind of found it's kind of a seam of dark humor in there as well.
It's very important to not be like grim edgelordy. It was important with the humor and the cheek and tongue kind of feeling. Yes, in the book, very important.
Yes.
We have a lot. It's so over the top.
Yeah.
So it becomes humorous as you play. It's like kind of hard to keep a straight face when you play it.
Yes.
So ridiculously grim.
Yeah, like the Army of Darkness movie or something.
Yes. I had an operation a few months ago, and we played a few days later, and I laughed so hard that I started bleeding again, which felt very fitting. And what are you playing sort of at home in your own campaigns? Do you stick with MÖRK BORG, or are you trying other things?
Try whatever, really. We'll play different games. So I've run a lot of MÖRK BORG and Cyborg, but usually when I do play, it's other games that we've done.
The same for me. I'm also play other games, but they are often quite rules-light as well. But I also played like skirmish board games.
Oh, right, yeah. Have you tried Forbidden Psalm?
I've only read the book. I haven't played it yet, but it's very fun.
Yeah, we just did a big unboxing video from their Kickstarter.
That's a whole thing of its own. It's a whole community around that game too.
It's good. How do you feel about that? Where there's like these communities?
I love to see it. And that's why we made the open light, so that people could feel encouraged to make their own thing. Yeah. And that inspires us as well. What they do. Sometimes people do things that we wanted to do. It's like, oh, we get a great idea. You see someone else did it, but we don't worry too much about that. We'll do our own thing. Yep, kind of.
Brilliant. So if people are interested in the game, where do they go and how do they sort of find you online and on social media, etc.?
They can find us at workboard.com and basically any social media place there is.
Yeah, the Discord channel is very lively. So that's probably the best place to go if you want to chat with other people and so on.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Cheers. That was great.
Thank you.